Squad. And I know we just covered some huge bombs of 2025 with Alan McKay and the 28 Days series, which is going to the third one according to Cillian Murphy. So let's hope. Go rent
Oh,
it. It's
that's
available for
good.
rent right now. The
Yeah.
Bone Temple. Go check it out.
The
Um,
Bone Temple.
Crunch those Netflix
and
numbers.
so originally we are going to go back to our regularly scheduled program, maybe do a 70s movie. But then, like a shot in the dark, we got a movie that was so bad. It exploded with a 0% on Rotten Tomatoes 2026. So when we get back from this commercial break, I'm about to defend a mutiny from my other two co-hosts, but don't worry.
Whoa.
You stick with me and we'll get through this rough waters on the Bum Squad. What's up, guys? If you want to support us, I'm going to do this quick. Check out our movies on Tubi. We got The Empty Space, a horror film. Last One's a zombie film. Borderland, a crime film. Wow. Not one trick ponies over here. And then that's it. Those are the only movies. Or go to our YouTube page, How to Films, where we have a bunch of short films. We just did a short film about Scream. Well, we didn't do it. It was like 3 years old, but it's been getting a lot of traction lately. We got it up to 22,000 views. So go check it out. It's a cool movie. It actually stars Latinas. I can do it, Scream. Why can't you? So go check those out, and we'll see you. Now back to the regularly scheduled program. What's up, guys? I'm just going to keep rolling through. I'm just going to keep talking
Keep going.
and talking.
Keep going, baby.
Let's do it.
I want to talk to you guys about a little hot movie that we found. This movie made like $100,000.
Yeah.
And thanks to me, it made $130. You're welcome.
The three of us were more than 1% of the film's profits.
I saw this movie opening weekend, and there was 3 people in the theater other than me. And then I saw it again, and I was the only one. But that's okay. That's okay. I like to rent theaters, guys. I'm rich. Yeah. So today we're covering the first bomb of, well, I guess Strangers bombed, but that was expected. This one wasn't expected, and we'll talk about it. But the hugest bomb so far of the year, 2026/2013's Psycho Killer.
Yeah.
Welcome to Psycho Killer, guys. I know what you're thinking. Hey, Andrew, I already know what this movie's about. I bet you they're going to play Psycho Killer. Well, you're wrong.
Not even
wrong about a lot of things.
They didn't. Yeah.
Directed by Gavin Polone, who also got to direct Finding Carter. You know everyone loves Finding Carter. This is his first feature film. It stars Georgina Campbell. It stars James Preston Rogers. It stars Logan Miller. And it stars, of course, the guy who will never say no as long as the price is right.
Absolutely.
Mr. Malcolm McDowell shows up.
He's good. He is good. Well, we'll talk about it.
It was also written by Andrew Kevin Walker. If you don't know who Andrew Kevin Walker, that was why I was the most excited for it. That's why
he's a superstar.
In theaters, regardless.
Yeah.
You don't know who Andrew Kevin Walker is. He wrote a little movie called Seven. And he also wrote another little movie called Sleepy Hollow, which we haven't covered, but they're both classics. Probably why we haven't covered them. But so this is him. I'm gonna hit you with a trivia piece that you might not have already guessed. This movie was in production hell for quite a long time. Andrew Kevin Walker wrote this like 20 years ago, and appears he did not touch it whatsoever. So let's get in to the Psycho Killer.
Psycho Killer.
And then we're going to talk about, well, we'll get to it by the end, but I have a whole speech prepared for the haters, the standing up haters.
Good.
This is,
sounds like you are using your time wisely.
I am. So, what's this movie about? Well, we're not even going to give a brief synopsis. We're just going to get right into the plot, because that's how this movie is. We're gonna
Exactly. It just starts and it does not stop.
Well, we should say it doesn't just start. The movie's like 89 minutes, and like the first 7 minutes are just slow credits over satanic imagery. I'm like, that's how you know who belongs on this channel.
It's also like, it's so funny because Andrew Kevin Walker wrote this, but this feels like someone is trying to copy Andrew Kevin Walker, because it starts off with the, like the 9 Inch Nails.
Yeah,
and like
it's like the 7 intro is like all I could think of the entire time.
But it's all red. That's how you know it's extreme. That's how you know it's not
it's
some
intense
baby
and modern.
7 movie. It's a psycho killer.
It's
the
not
first
dark.
thing they do after they psycho kill the credits is we cut to the very beautiful state of Kansas City.
Yeah.
Colby,
Colby,
Kansas.
Colby, Kansas.
Colby,
That's where he's
Kansas.
driving
Also,
into.
at
What are you
one
doing in
point, they're
Colby?
like, "Hey, you did a good service for the CHP," and I spent like 5 minutes being like, "What
No,
the
the,
hell
the
is
KHP,
KHP?" I was like, "What
Yeah.
the hell is that?"
Kansas
Kentucky-
Highway Patrol.
Kentucky Hydrogen Bombs. So anyway, so we cut
Pumps.
to our great. Oh no! So then we start off with this killer, and here's the
Mhm.
thing: we're not gonna see this killer's face ever.
Ever.
That's right.
We are going to see several things reflected in his very giant aviator
You-
mirrored sunglasses.
Yeah, we are in
You know
his
what's-
POV, baby. We are in his POV.
What's very funny is that I had a script that I'm working on right now, and originally the idea was that you would never see the killer; he'd always be reflected in the car or in the windshield. He was also a driver, and I was like, hell yeah, that'd be cool. And then I was writing the script, I was like, you know, this character doesn't have any personality because you never see him, he never talks.
Yeah.
And then I was like, if only he was some kind of psycho killer, I would have cracked that code instead of changing it to be a real character. But anyway,
Cologne got there first, baby.
so he's driving. I know, Ken. Andrew. So he's driving, and then he sees a cop car, and also like
Yes.
in this middle of the road, there's nobody there, and so he just decides to pull over. And then the cop car is like following him, but it's unclear if he was gonna pull him over or if he wasn't. Because then
the cop never flashes his lights, but he's just behind him, and then the
Mhm.
guy pulls over, and that's
Yeah.
kind of why the cop's like, "Why'd you pull over?" You know, like
Yeah.
kind of like grilling him on it.
Yeah.
the cop comes out, he looks and he sees some drugs in the back, and he's like, "Why'd you pull over when you saw me?" And then I'm going to do.
We all have to do the
Keep in mind-
voice.
Try it.
Keep in mind, it's this the whole time. It doesn't ever change. This is what the psycho killer sounds like every time he talks. He goes, "I'm here to talk to you. Here's my license and registration."
He's clearly the interesting thing is, if you just watch the trailer, I don't even know if the trailer has him speaking in it. You think like, oh, that's how he sounds when he's wearing his big gas mask get up.
Mhm.
No, he just sounds like he's
his
using a voice changer at
Yeah.
all times.
He sounds
sounds-
like a dumb version of Bane. Is essentially
Yeah.
what he sounds like.
He's
But-
doing the Bane voice, but without
And-
anything covering his
Yeah.
face.
And it doesn't matter whether he's close to the camera, away from the camera, whether he's 2 feet down. His voice is always the same volume, which is loud as hell, and it's
Yes.
in both surround speakers. And he goes, "Hey, here's my license." And so then, while the cop is like talking to him, another cop pulls up, and that's our lead, Georgina
yeah,
Campbell.
they're
playing-
both Captain Archer.
They're both
Yeah.
Captain Archer, and also Georgina Campbell is named Jane Archer, because Andrew Kevin Walker, he's like, "Hey, I'm not gonna put 2 minutes of work into creating this character named Jane Archer. That's fine.
Yeah.
Okay, that's the easiest name I've ever thought of."
Come on.
And so
And
then they start talking on their
they-
phones.
They do it all cutesy because they're like, "What are you doing, Officer Archer?
Officer
What are you
Archer."
doing, Officer Archer?" And you're like, "Oh, they're
Watch,
a married cop couple."
look at you guys talk as archers, and I'm gonna show you what the psycho killer is doing at that moment. Go ahead.
Just
What's
like,
up? What's up, babe? What's
Oh,
up? What's
nothing,
up,
babe.
husband?
might you know what the psycho killer reminded me of in this scene and every other scene he's in? You know that South Park episode where they're looking for a serial killer and they go to the guy's house and like, "Mister," and he goes, "God."
Yeah.
Just stares at them.
100%. Yeah.
That is the tone of the psycho killer.
Absolutely.
This
And so-
whole film.
And while they're talking, because they're at first they're being very cute, they're like, "Hey,
Mhm.
what are you doing after this?" And he's like, "I'm gonna go home to see my wife." And she's like, "Oh, that's great. I'm your wife." And then he's like, "Oh, by the way, I think this guy's a drug dealer. I'm gonna run his plates." And the psycho killer is literally
He's-
like where the screen guy is. He can hear everything.
He's
I'm
so
saying.
yeah,
Right,
because they're
yeah.
so loud, and it's like he's basically bragging. He's about to arrest this guy
Yeah.
because he's like, "This guy's a druggie. I'm bringing him in," and it's like,
Yeah.
And then
Even if
she's
he
like,
wasn't.
"Okay, I'll just go home. I don't understand how cops work." Oh, here's the other. Okay, so she decides she's about to go home, but then she gets a little weird. Another
She
tip
feels
into
something.
Andrew's life. One time, me and Josh were hanging out, and I said I always wanted to write a Vietnam movie, but my goal was to not research anything about Vietnam and just kind of talk about like what I knew from movies and from TV. Like the idea was like, oh, it's a Psycho, Gus Van Sant Psycho, where the idea was that what could media teach us about Vietnam and how wrong would it be? And then as I started writing, I was like, that seems like a huge waste of time.
Yeah,
I bring
it's an
that up.
interesting thought experiment,
Sure,
but then
sure.
you're like, wait, I'm doing a whole movie on this? No, yeah.
It's
Fund
and
me, please.
see, and I bring that up because I feel like, and we'll keep mentioning it, but I feel like Andrew Kevin Walker purposely didn't learn anything about how police cars work or like how procedure is or anything logical.
Yeah.
But to counter
It's-
that,
It's just weird because he did write Seven.
he did write one of the best.
he's
crime
written some
movies
good
of all
movies.
time.
He's not a failure.
This is a very Ella McKay thing where you're like, wait, James L. Brooks, really?
Even-
The same guy?
Did you watch this?
Even Sleepy Hollow is mostly about procedure more than anything else.
Absolutely. Yeah.
And so she's like, okay, I'm a little nervous. Let me pull up behind him. And then she goes, you know my favorite part. And I'm gonna say that every single scene. She goes, hey, you know there's a highway killer on the road that's been killing people and is in our area? What were the license plates number on there?
Yeah.
And I was
what
like,
were all the cars?
there's a highway killer and you guys are treating this like it's just some random dude.
And you
What?
pulled over a
He
guy
pulls
who's
over
like,
himself.
can't find my license.
Do you like I got these scars? And so
No
then-
one cares even when I put on the mask.
I know. The psycho kills the husband cop. And then he's
Yeah,
like
he neck shots him, which is pretty
neck-
sick.
It's a pretty good shot. Yeah,
and
it
he's
was cool.
about to and so the girl being in the car behind him and knowing he's about to leave does the most obvious thing. She gets immediately out of the car so that he can ram both
Run
of
away.
the cars and
Yeah.
destroy them. And then she's shooting and she's like and she can't hit him at all
Mm-mm.
because she's a real cop.
Yeah.
And so
Yeah.
then he gets away, and then she goes to her husband. And I will say, okay, this movie's going to get pretty silly, and I'm going to explain why it's so good at the end of it. So keep that in mind. But I will say, one of the good things about this movie, other than the psycho killer, which, I mean, he's not doing a bad job, but his voice is redonkulous.
I mean,
Everyone else, from Regina
I don't
Campbell to the husband, is doing a pretty good job at acting. Like the scene where he's dying, he does like this weird thing where he's like, and he's like can't focus on her, and he finally focuses on her, and then he dies. And I was like, that's pretty like heartbreaking. You have to watch your husband die. I don't know why they'd put you on the same shift, but if they did, it would kind of suck to watch your husband die in front of you. That this would have a lot more weight if I didn't just hear someone go, I want to take you to hell.
yeah.
Yeah,
I had a hard time buying anyone's performance in this movie. If we're gonna get this out, if we're gonna put all cards on the table right away,
well-
I didn't. No one in this movie did a good job.
I think it's because everyone acts well, especially Georgina Campbell. She has to like both be super dedicated and super manic and also grieving. Like so then we cut and like she's putting her stuff away. She's been suspended or like they're like
Oh yeah,
doing some time. And
they-
she's
they
okay.
do say in the radio he's not called the psycho killer in the film. He's called the satanic slasher.
better name.
And it does cut with between because she's kind of like going through it, and then it cuts to him also just existing.
Yeah.
And one of my favorite thing is he turns on the TV to news about himself, and then when he goes to sleep, instead of sleeping on the bed, he sleeps in the closet in his gas mask in the fetal position, hugging a shotgun.
He's hugging his shotgun. And we're gonna explain why that's a real stupid idea later on, but he hasn't figured it out yet.
This
Just
is
imagine it now.
He
Yeah.
goes Moonies. And then-
that was my first laugh. Now the first laugh out loud was when he talks, but this is my second laugh. The theater was fully empty, so nobody minded that I was
Oh
laughing.
yeah,
out
I'm gonna tell you exactly when I fell in love with this movie. And so she's asleeping, and then it cuts to her, and she's like putting her stuff away, and her dad's there, and she's like, "I know what you're doing. You're gonna try to go hunt this killer." And she's like, "Yeah, if you know that, Dad, then you know you can't stop me." And she puts her gun away, and then he goes, "This not gonna bring your husband back." And she's like, "I don't want to bring him back. I know I can't bring him back, but I had one shot to shoot him, and I missed that shot.
Yeah.
So I need to have that shot again. And I know what you're saying, audience. Oh, I already know what's going to happen. She's going to have one more shot to kill him. She's going to take it.
We're gonna set that.
Well,
up
we're going to
real
find out
nice.
if she only has one more shot or if she has a billion shots that she does not hit him ever. And so she goes away. She's going to go find him. And then it cuts to him, and he goes. So
he needs to get drugs. It's that right. That's
Yeah,
the next
yeah.
Well,
well, he's
that
at a
brings us
hot-
to our next scene.
Yeah, he's
Right.
at a hotel that's the most neon hotel ever, and then he drives to the most neon pharmacy of
The
all
pharmacy.
time. And
This-
it's,
Okay, and this pharmacy. Well, continue. I have a big question about this pharmacy,
I
but
will say
we'll get there in just a
it's
second.
the middle of the day when he gets there. He sits in his car and then he just goes back to sleep. It's like, buddy, you've been asleep all day.
I thought he
you
slept in
psycho
her car.
Well, not yet.
Well, so-
When he
so-
first
But,
gets
but I
there-
was also
yeah.
like, if you
Yeah.
slept in your car outside a pharmacy all day, the cops would be like, "Hey, buddy, you got to move.
yeah.
We can't have homeless sleeping in the lots." Because he gets there he's following
there
this
right in
one
the
lady,
morning.
this lady
Yeah.
pharmacist, and as she starts her shift, because then later you see her leaving at the very end of the day when it's pitch black out, like they're closing up.
Yeah.
So it's like he's literally been there like 8 to 10 hours.
Yeah, sleeping.
Right.
And nobody noticed this homeless man sleeping in a car.
In the
but
middle of the
also,
parking lot,
too,
it's not very close. Go
Like
ahead.
so he gets to this pharmacy and like you were saying, this pharmacy is lit up like no pharmacy looks like this. Like it looks like a bar. It looks like
Yeah.
a bar called
It had-
RX. And
Yeah, it
you
has
don't
a
really
big
know
RX and
Oh, and
and I don't know if they show what time he gets there, but it could have just been like 6 p.m. and it was still daylight.
right.
Because this lady goes to this crazy pharmacy and she goes in for an unknown amount of time. She comes back out when it's night, but she's with someone. And
Right.
they're kind of I thought they were stumbling out of the pharmacy.
yeah, like it was a
Oh.
bar.
Like it looked like they were drinking together and he was waiting for this person to
They're
like
just having fun at their pharmacy.
No, I thought
jobs.
I thought that they were the workers. I thought that.
Yeah, no,
I'm seeing
no,
it now. that
no,
you're
no, they
right,
are the workers because he needs her key to get
to
in.
get in, right? Because it's
But,
an actual
but this
pharmacy. once
pharmacy
he gets
is
in there.
it's like in like the Arkham City games. It's like
Yeah.
that's a pharmacy in one of
Yes,
those games.
absolutely. Yeah.
If you told
Giant
me- if
neon
you told me this
RX
movie-
sign. Yeah.
If you told me this movie took place in the Arkham City universe, I would be like, yeah, that makes a lot of sense.
That makes
Yeah.
way more
Um,
sense.
But
yeah.
this is
Then she
also
gets in her car.
where you do get because you never see his face, but you do
Right.
get to see his tattoos for the first time up close in this
It's
scene
very
as he's
important.
and we'll talk about some of his tattoos later. But he has no mercy
Right.
on one of his hands.
Right.
He has
Sick.
a lot of crucifixes. He's a real satanic slasher.
Listen,
This guy.
Yeah.
guys, it's not called nice killer. Okay,
Yeah, it's
It's
not
not
called
called normal
regular guy
killer.
who kills. Yeah,
It's
And
called-
so then she gets to her car, and this is how I know this movie hasn't been changed in 20 years because she goes for a pack of smokes, and I was like, oh man,
yeah,
can't
yeah.
even try it.
This is '94, baby.
And then the psycho killer wakes up and he's like, hello, I'm gonna kill you now. And then she's like, oh no.
Please don't, sir.
And then he like goes like, because I thought that, because at the beginning they're like, oh, he's been from like California to New Mexico. Now they think he's in Illinois or whatever.
Mhm.
And so it's like, oh, he's been traveling place to place. So I thought that he was like doing like ritual sacrifices, which he kind of is.
Kind of,
But it's
yeah.
more so that he needs a bunch of drugs from the pharmacy to get a little
Yeah.
high.
Right.
I
And
think it's like
we don't really
because he
know
got
why.
injured with right when he was
Oh,
leaving.
right.
It's like the Anton
No.
Chigurh.
Well, we don't really ever see him do these drugs.
No,
Like,
we
we
do. We see him like every time he's about to do something, he puts them all in his mouth. He's like,
I think it's just
Oh.
painkillers, right? It's
Yeah,
not
he-
like
well,
it's just like opioids.
yeah.
it's opioids, painkillers, and like something else that he always.
But
and
he-
they're like-
Psychotropic substance.
We should note he's definitely anti-drug later for recreational use
Yeah.
because that is a big plot.
Yeah.
only he can do drugs, but nobody else can.
He's the straight
Sounds-
edge satanic.
Sounds like he's a
slasher.
Protestant Satanist, if you ask me.
And he keeps
Oh.
it together for being on so many drugs. Like for
Yeah.
as many drugs as he does, it doesn't seem to like really affect his performance in any way, shape, or form.
Yeah. Well, maybe he's like, one of the days he should wake up and he's like, oh, I shouldn't take those pills anymore. They make my throat so hoarse.
I think
Is it
it's
a normal voice?
He never closes his mouth when he sleeps.
yeah, he just needs the lozenges. That's what he should have
Yeah.
done. No,
Yeah, I
I
know.
don't know if
Like
he's
Ed Brock.
competent, but I think everyone else in the movie is just so incompetent that he's just like a
Well,
normal guy in terms
he
of
killed-
ability.
He kills the girl and he does like stuff on her, and then the Jane is like looking for her, and she's like driving down the freeway, and she's like, "Hi, this is Jane. I'm a police officer who's on suspended. Can I see access to your files?" I can't. Okay, never mind. And she's just
Next.
doing that the whole time.
Yeah.
Yeah, she literally goes to the FBI and she's like, "Hey, can I just like look over your shoulder while you guys are working the case?" They're like, "No."
No.
It's not.
Are you
She's
And
like,
not
serious?
"Did I
They
mention
said-
my husband died? So it's
Well,
personal."
we
It's
haven't gotten there yet. We'll get there. But before they do that, they watch a TV show because they mentioned the pharmacist got killed, and they watch a TV show and they're like, "Hey, the satanic slasher's killing people all over the highway." Also, unrelated, there was another satanic preacher in this kind of general area 30 years ago. His name was Richard Joshua Reeves. He
Yeah.
killed people in a church, and he was a mass killer. So not even really close, because he wasn't even a serial killer, not really close to this guy. But I forgot why I was bringing that up. I was
They're like, don't worry about it. That's
It's
for
all good.
later.
It's all good.
And
yeah.
then, like,
That's-
and I know what you're thinking. Hey, that's kind of bad writing, because why would a radio host bring up a non sequitur random topic for no real reason? Well, guess what, guys? That's his character, because it's going to come up a couple more times.
Trust us. Yeah.
And so then she goes to the FBI and she's like, "Hi, FBI agent." And the FBI agent, Cash Patel, is there. And he's like,
that,
he is a
he
real
literally-
cocky son of a gun.
yeah, he's like walking. He's like, "I need two things right now. I need my file." And then he points at the only woman that's with him. And he
Yeah.
goes, "And I need a chicken salad
Chicken
sandwich."
salad sandwich. And she
So
just
he-
goes, "Hmm,
And she
we
goes,
know he's a jerk.
Yeah. And so then the Jane comes up and she's like, "Hey, can I help you on your? Can I illegally help you on this thing?" And then he goes, he's like, "We really appreciate all the work you did. Now get the hell out of here!" Like,
Yeah,
leave.
with the KHP.
But I mean, even if he wasn't a jerk, literally the cop whose husband died, it's like no police force in the world would be like,
right.
yeah, you
She's
can
the
work
most
this
compromised
case.
person ever.
You're literally the least person who's like should be allowed to work this
Yeah.
case.
Right,
You
right.
know?
Yeah, I
You're-
mean, you're. This is why you guys shouldn't have worked together. You should also not be working on this case. Anyway, this could not be more of a conflict of interest. And now
True.
we cut back to the psycho killer. What's the psycho killer been doing? Everyone, anytime the psycho killer's not on screen, I'm like, hey, what's the psycho killer doing?
Well, hold on.
And
Do,
Josh
do,
is
do, we,
gonna
do we miss the thing that happened at the FBI, or does that happen later?
No,
No,
I think
no,
that's after.
This
Okay,
happens
okay,
first,
okay.
and then that happens. And
Okay.
Josh is going to tell us where the psycho killer is. He's visiting a couple who are
on the
changing
side of the
tire.
road.
This is the part where I literally, like, both times,
this.
I raised my hands
Oh,
in the
yes,
air.
yes,
and
yes,
I said,
yes.
yeah, this is what I knew the
This
movie
is-
we were watching.
This is
Go ahead.
insane. A man, it's a man and a woman, presumably on a date. The guy is changing a tire.
And he has little
Um,
reflectors on the road,
Josh-
which I thought was very smart.
He,
And also, Josh has given them more backstory than the script gave them.
Oh,
To
yeah.
be
Well,
honest.
We don't know
he-
where we are.
she's
or
in the
where-
passenger. He's changing the tire. The psycho killer's like, time to get to it. He
Yeah.
comes up, kills the man instantly.
Sorry, Josh. He psycho kills him. Go ahead.
He psycho kills the man.
Slow mo. I
The
think.
woman realizes,
Right.
I'm not going to get in the car. Like, I won't be able to get this car started. I don't even have the key. So she just starts running down the road.
Well, she gets
Um,
out and she looks, and the guy's head is completely gone. Like,
Correct.
Yeah,
he hit
so-
him
so
with
she-
a pipe, and his head exploded.
She starts
Yeah.
running. The psycho killer starts kind of walking after her. And then in the distance, she sees two headlights, and she's like, "Oh,
Oh yes.
someone's gonna
yes,
stop!"
yes.
And she's like waving him down. And then the psycho killer starts jogging a bit. You're like, "Oh, he's gonna catch up to her just in time." So he's gonna get her with an axe. That's not what happens.
No.
Instead,
No.
he doesn't even really get kind of close to her. The truck driver sees her in the road, goes, "Eh!"
Oh no.
spins his wheel. The truck starts spinning over,
Oh,
kills the
yes.
woman instantly.
Slap-
The psycho
It psycho kills her.
The
Slap-
The psycho kills her.
the psycho killer
explodes.
literally just does this.
It
Yeah.
literally cuts to him
He-
moving his foot like right.
Just-
a
He
centimeter off.
He takes a half step like Bugs Bunny, like during a trick,
Yes,
to not get
yes.
hit by the. Watches the truck keep going, explode in a ball of fire, and then the psycho killer just continues on his way. Just keeps
All
on.
good, brother.
I wanted the psycho killer to be like, hey, I don't think I should count those because like those weren't really.
That's what I'm saying.
But
That-
You can count one. You can count the guy,
I can count
right?
The guy.
The
That's
girl,
not
the truck
even-
driver.
The girl
she
made-
caused the truck to flip though. So really,
Yeah, yeah.
but that's what
really
I'm saying.
wish-
Like the psycho killer is not smart. Everyone else is just.
I mean, it's
so
all the opiates. He
stupid.
sees the world in slow motion.
Yeah.
That's why we're always seeing things through his vision. So
That
he
is
can
true.
sidestep a truck.
He should have like when he crashed. I wish that like 8 other cars had crashed behind him.
Yeah, yeah. Just a
And they
random
all
pile
explode
up.
like in the
And
Blues
Yeah.
Brothers.
Then the psycho killer holds up a sign that says "Ain't I a stinker?"
and then yeah, and then the
Satan,
psycho killer
comma Satan.
he goes back to the car because he always writes stuff in blood, and he like usually in movies. Here's how it goes. Here's a movie secret, guys. Usually when you make a movie, like if you have something written, like you want it to look nice, even if it's supposed to look psychotic, you want it to look nice psychotic. And so you'll hire someone to make that, like There
Like
was
a
like
designer.
there was like a linguistic who actually wrote the notebooks in Seven so that they would look psychotic, but they would look real.
Legitimate.
Yeah.
But this is the thing. Seven doesn't have a psycho killer because
Mhm.
psycho killer. It just seems like whoever's playing the psycho killer makes like kind of like a evil star, like the devil's star.
It's like the pentagram, but
Pentagram.
kind of
it's like-
half-assed.
Yeah, it's like when you start drawing something and you realize you don't have enough space to finish, so you have to squash everything because it looks like this big, and it's like a little star right in between, and you're like,
Yeah,
Hey,
it's a pentagram I drew in 9th grade on
Yeah.
my little when I was taking notes,
take
and a
take the
heartogram
win.
next to
They
it.
should
Yeah.
he should have written on the car in blood, like the truck thing was unrelated to me.
Yeah, not me.
And, see,
Don't
Not
count
me
that
or the
as
devils,
one
yeah.
of mine.
and
Yeah.
and here's the thing. William was saying that he didn't like the acting, he didn't like the characters that weren't there. But here's some motivation for you, William.
Please
'Cause
tell
then
me.
we cut back to Jane, innocent Jane, and what does she
Oh
charge?
no, she's
She has a
sick.
pregnancy test.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
She's
And
like, oh no,
she's
does
pregnant.
food make me
What-
sick?
see,
Oh
that's
no.
Uh-oh.
So
Or
it
was it a baby?
explodes, and then it cuts to Jane, and she's like checking her pregnancy test, and I was like, it's like this guy wrote this movie, and he never saw any other serial killer movie, and he was like, man, I'm really spitting bars. Like, has anyone ever thought of this before? Like,
And her
of
husband
course
is
she's
dead?
pregnant. Yeah,
Yeah.
and her husband's dead. A piece of
Dang.
him, maybe. Jane.
Lives on.
Here's the thing though. The pregnancy does not really come up again after this.
Oh no, it comes up in a very hilarious way that we'll talk about it.
Well, yeah, I mean, I guess not in terms of like
Um,
her interactions with the psycho killer.
and so
Right,
then,
or the movie.
then she it actually comes up in a negative way, which you'll understand. Then she gets a phone call and it's like, hey, it's the only other lady FBI agent in the world. Can you meet at a bar? And she's like, okay. And so they go to the bar, but then we come back to psycho killer who's watching TV again about like the
Mhm.
Manson family. And
he,
it's like,
he watches
are
TV
you-
a lot.
I was like, are
Yeah.
you watching the All True Crime Network? Which, if you watch cable, it's like that's kind of what it is anyway. And he's sharpening a pick. He's sharpening a mixed
Mm.
metal straw. We'll find out in a second.
Right.
And
oh, that
so
was
then,
that was good.
so then it cuts back, and Jane is at the bar with the FBI agent, and the FBI agent is like, "Hey, I wasn't gonna tell you this, but she was like, because Jane's like, oh, I've been going up and down the hotels, like telling people that they're there. No. The FBI agent says, oh, she's been staying in hotels. He's been staying in hotels along the road. And
How do
Jane's
you
like,
know that?
How do you know that?
Yeah.
And she's like, I can show you. And so then they
Please
go
do.
off to a hotel, and this FBI agent's just like breaking the seal of evidence, which is like, shouldn't
Well-
Jane have done that? Go ahead.
And let me also just interject here. We also have no idea why this FBI agent has decided to talk to our main character. We don't know if she hates her boss, which we assume she does.
I guess just because he asked
we don't
her
know why
for a
she's doing
coffee.
any of this.
Yeah.
But she is just giving away all the secrets.
secrets.
And Jane never even questions it at all either. She's never like, why are you helping me? We never have the scene where we can connect
Yeah.
with the FBI agent or even Jane Archer besides her husband
This
dying.
a lot of bad horror movies will do the like this character only exists for exposition. Usually it's an old
Yeah.
researcher at
Well-
like a university, but this one's especially egregious.
And it's
'cause-
funny too. Like, this is how all the dialogue is, because the FBI agent's telling her, and she's like, "Hey, so she's like, oh, he breaks into the pharmacy. That's why he takes the drugs. He's always on the drugs. Also, the first death was in Death Valley. Oh, don't worry, it'll come back up.
Mm.
And she's like, oh, and then he also killed this guy at a gun shop. Oh yeah, there's three hilarious things, but we won't find out about it till later. This one is just funny in general. She's like, oh, he killed something from a gun shop, and he got a bunch of guns. And then she's like, oh, and by the way, he was a collector, and so there was a bunch of grenades that he had that he also has. And Jane is like, what?
Grenades.
And it's like
And
treated
then
as
she
like a
has
big
something.
twist.
She has something else too. A very specific item,
Yeah,
which is old school, volatile dynamite.
yeah. And then
yeah,
like because
Bugs Bunny style.
Because at first she goes, I don't think I should tell you this, but he has grenades. And then as they're leaving, she's like, tick, tick, tick. Okay, don't tell anyone I told you this. But he also has dynamite. It's like, well, why do you keep
sorry,
giving me
I read your setup.
information in this kind of way? Like, just tell me it all. I'm clearly not going to tell anyone. Just tell me it all.
Yeah, please.
And so then they go, and then this is a little foreboding, but you don't know about it. They go to the hotel and they're looking around, and he's literally drawn like little devil pictures all over. He's
Yeah.
like if when he's not psycho killing, he's finger painting, and he loves
Yeah.
it. Okay, he's
Yeah.
finger painting
He
every single
practiced.
scene.
He
There's
practiced
also-
a lot.
This is because again, a lot of this movie, it's like sometimes it's exposition. Although this actually was not what the movie ended up being, but I was excited for a minute because a lot of times it's like either he or she is driving and they're listening to news about the psycho killer, but one of them is one of those crazy call-in shows where a woman's like, I think the deep state is hired this guy to kill people, like it's actually the government killing people.
Right.
Which to me is funny because that was the plot of the Matthew McConaughey Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
Right,
And I was
right.
like, yay, let's bring this back. But
And not only that,
no, it was a red herring. He's
but also
not
he's
killing people for the government.
he's driving and he hears Malcolm McDowell, who's clearly Malcolm McDowell. He's giving like a devil speech. He's like, "Take us to the leader of death, and the devil will come and kill ya." And he's like, "Yeah, this is good." And also sometimes
This
he
is
listens
speaking
to
to
heavy
me.
metal music. So Jane
Yeah.
takes
Yeah.
all the pictures, and then she's about to leave, and she's like, "Hey, he's also got dynamite." I don't know why that would make it worse than the hand grenades, because I don't know how these things work. But since I put them at separate times, I assume that one's worse than the other.
Right. One was specifically called old school volatile dynamite.
Yeah,
Emphasis on all three things.
yeah.
And her face was serious.
Oh,
it was
and
as
then-
serious as she gets.
Before she leaves, because she goes, thank you. And then the FBI agent goes, no problem. I will, I'll tell them your theories. And it's like, you're going to take credit for my work? Like, what?
Yeah. It's like, well, yeah, I'm risking my job for whatever reason.
I
we
know.
don't
I'm like,
know.
I'm helping you out.
Yeah.
So now Jane knows that she's on the hunt for hotels. So she does what apparently the FBI has not done yet. Go to the hotels and ask
Yeah.
people where they are.
Yeah.
And so she's doing that, and while she's doing that, William's going to tell us what the psycho killer's doing.
Oh,
He gets to a church.
his religious visit.
It's time for him.
Oh, yes. Okay. So he gets to a church. Do we know the church's name? Is it a special church? It's just a
doesn't
church,
matter.
right?
It's just a random church.
So he walks into it. We're definitely in the Midwest somewhere. I think we're in Ohio at this point, I believe.
I think so. Somewhere.
Yeah,
it's
we're
all in the
going.
Midwest, which I did like.
Yeah, we're definitely on a level from like California, like we said, to Vegas. They mentioned, and then Illinois. I think there was a Chicago shout out at some point, which is cool.
Yeah.
And now we're in Ohio, and he walks into this church, and there's a priest who's just getting stuff ready. It's just a random whatever day, and Psycho Killer is there, and the priest is like, "Well, do you need to confess something?" And he's like, "Oh, I guess I probably do." So they go to the little confession booth, and they're sitting there, and you can see the Psycho Killer through the little screen,
Yeah.
and he's like,
I like priest.
Yeah.
One of them took me under his wing a long time ago and made me into the man I am.
and the priest is like, "Cool. Anyways, do you need to confess
Do
something?"
you have
Yeah,
any-
by the way, is the implication a priest molested him? That's why he's
That's
the
where I
psycho
thought
killer.
he was going with it. I'm not really
I
sure.
It doesn't
think
really
was more
specify,
that
but
he was talking about the devil priest. But who knows?
Oh, that's
I-
probably true.
I guess.
So, and I will, before we get into what happens next, like I will say, this is easily at once the most unexplainable, and two the best part of the movie.
Yeah,
this
this
was the
part
one
is
part of the
great.
movie where I was like, this gave me a thrill for sure.
Yeah.
So he's about to start confessing, and I don't know if he said another quip or not, but the priest is like listening in, and Psycho Killer puts his mask on. You can see it through the little screen,
Yeah.
and then he pulls out this like little rod,
Yeah.
and he jams it through the window right into the priest's neck.
Oh,
The
no.
blood from the neck starts draining down the pipe, and Psycho Killer gets down
He starts drinking. And no,
like he
and
is
no,
one thirsty boy.
And no other point does he ever drink blood.
that's not. Yeah,
Not at all.
Human.
Never mentioned.
It's just this one part. But
Yep.
really, I guess he's just like, you know what? I'm gonna go out with a bang. It's my birthday weekend.
Yeah,
I
exactly.
gotta make it special.
Let's make this one wild.
And then to make it even better, as he's like leaving, then he steps onto the snow and to the welcome mat, and it says, "Come all ye faithful." And he
Dude.
puts it on blood, and he wipes.
yeah.
the
It's
blood
with his
on
bloody footprints.
Look, I haven't been to a lot of Catholic churches, but I have never been to one that has a welcome mat.
Yeah, we don't have welcome mats because it's a church. It's
It's
outside.
a church. It's not your freaking house.
He should have also turned all the crucifixes upside down as
I
he was
know.
going.
That would've been cool.
Just go all in.
Yeah.
You know?
They should turn every time he walks. then
Please.
Just the universe.
we cut to Jane. And keep in mind, the FBI said they already did this. So we cut to Jane, and she's at her third hotel of the day, ever. She's like, hey, and then she goes and talks to the guy, and she's like, hey, I'm looking for a guy. And this is also funny because she goes, he's probably white. Like, it's like, oh yeah, I mean, nobody was
I
questioning
mean,
that
yeah,
part.
duh.
And she's like, hey, did anyone come in by themselves, white, super tall? They call themselves a psycho
Yeah,
killer.
there's also
Yeah.
like
Do they
this
use any
like
obvious names?
this hotel clerk is super Irish and dressed like it's like 1910. It's such a weird, like
Yeah.
Well,
out
and-
of place character.
And then again, just like the FBI agent, the hotel clerk's like, I wasn't here last night, but nobody's here. Nobody came last night, and then he goes, oh wait, let me check the
Wait.
books. It's like, why were you already answering before checking the books? And then he goes,
This
oh yeah, the person
Well-
that you just described, literally, he's here.
Well, I think he looks at the book even, and he says no, and then
Yeah.
she's gonna leave, and then he's like, "Oh wait,
Oh wait, and then
there is
I
one.
just learned how to read."
And,
And then-
the name.
he literally
Mr.
puts
Reeves.
Richard. Oh yeah, Mr. Reeves. And then
It's like A.J. Reed. It's
Yeah,
literally
it's insane.
the initials
R.J. Reeves. Yeah.
of him. I
Yeah.
mean, that's him. That's literally him.
And then she's like,
The
okay,
serial
call-
killer's using his own name at hotels.
She's like, call the cops. Well,
Right away.
actually, he's not, because Richard Joshua Reeves was killed in prison after he did his original thing.
Hmm. Which was a mass
And-
murder. He's not a
Or
serial
was
killer.
he?
He was a mass murderer.
He was a mass murderer, and he was killed in prison. So the idea is that this guy's like using him as an image and
Yeah.
like kind of pretending he's cosplaying.
The point
And
is, though,
he's a
if
fanboy.
you're a serial killer, you're not putting Ed
Yeah,
Gein
like-
as your name on the
Exactly,
hotel
like-
registry.
Sure.
If you're gonna sign in and you're trying to be incognito, you don't put Charles Manson.
Yeah. See,
You put Charles
Manson.
Bundy, and then you're like, hey.
Hello.
And then she's like, so call the cops. This is real. Call them. And then she like gets out her gun and she's like walking. And then she just walks fully in front of the window. Anyone could see him coming in, except unless you were asleep in the closet, then you wouldn't be able to see anyone coming in.
That's
Maybe don't do that. Maybe don't sleep in the closet, buddy.
Please.
And so then she like opens the door and she's got her gun and she's like going through. She goes into the bathroom. He's not there, but his shotgun is. But does
He
she
just left
get
his
it?
shotgun there.
Does she
for
get it
whatever
to unarm himself? No, she just leaves it there. And then
Yeah.
she goes back.
she's like none of my business.
And she-
Unrelated shotgun.
It's legal. It's legal to have that. It's fine.
She's like, okay, hotel room. Should I? And I just walked through the main bedroom and I've gone through the bathroom. The only place I haven't checked is the main bedroom again. And then he pops out of the closet. He's like, woo! And he
Hello,
grabs her.
officer.
And he literally like is just throwing her around the thing. And he's like,
Yeah,
she's like,
she has no
smashing
chance.
televisions on his head. She hits him with the Bible.
She literally
Yeah,
throat punches him with the Bible,
Yeah.
which
She hits
I
him
thought
with
was
the
a nice
Bible.
touch.
Yeah.
And so then
yeah.
he grabs her and he throws her out the window and he's like staring at her. It's all in slow motion. She's like, what? And then every single scene,
What is he like?
he's like, what?
What?
Every single scene up until this movie, like we said, in front of the other hotels, in front of the dude that he killed on the side of the road, in front of the pharmacy, the psycho killer always parks literally right in front of the place where he's trying to be. In the most in auspicious way ever. Like everyone always knows where he is. But not this time, guys. Because
This time
he
he
hears
was
the
smart.
police cars. And so just this time, for no real reason, he's parked behind the hotel 2
Yeah.
blocks down. And so he gets into his car and he's like, thank you, scriptwriter.
You know?
I'll see you later.
Yeah.
He's
And
he's
he-
always exactly as smart to barely get away as the movie needs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So he takes off, and then Jane is like fighting with the FBI agent. She's like, I told you he was here. Did you check even one hotel? Like, you could have called every hotel in the area and just put any kind of description. Like, you know what he looks like. You have pictures of him from the pharmacies.
Yeah.
Give those pictures to the hotels.
He's a unique looking individual.
Yeah, he's like 10 feet tall, and he has real long hair, and he only wears one outfit every single
Yeah.
time. It shouldn't be that hard, but anyway, the FBI is like, listen, we got to go to the Olympics. We don't have time
fine.
to be
Yeah.
hunting psycho killer.
I got a shotgun
It's one
beers
guy.
in the locker room.
Yeah, I got shotgun
Yeah.
beers.
Yeah,
my wife,
exactly.
my wife has a country's concert that I have to get to.
Yeah. Just
And
leave me
so-
alone.
Then they're like, we don't need your help, but if you could help us, that'd be great. And then it comes back to the psycho killer, and he's on the phone. He's like, I'd like to place an ad. I saw Red
Oh
Dragon
yeah,
one
his
time.
his
Yeah.
Zodiac killer
wanna do it.
cryptography.
I'm
Yeah.
doing every trope imaginable. I'm the psycho killer.
Yeah.
We're like, okay, what would you like the And then, okay, here's something, Psycho Killer. So she goes, "What do you want the message to be?" And he goes, "First line, N-O-T-E-N, capital O, capital T, cap." And I want her to be like, "Okay, for the next line, can you say what you want first before saying it, and then adding additions to it? That'd be super
Yeah.
helpful." And so he's like, "The lesson is, the devil's coming, horns up, call me back."
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
okay.
Communicate with me.
And so then they're off, and like she's looking, and then she realizes, and this is so funny because she kind of finds the connection between Reeves and the Satanic Slasher, probably because this show about Reeves airs every single night on every single television
Yeah,
station.
yeah, it is.
And
It
the
is out
radio.
there.
It's a
So
very
she's, like,
popular
looking
true
it up.
crime
Oh,
subject.
but,
Yeah.
and before we say this, we have to say this for later. The FBI agent also told her at one point he broke into a library and he stole two
Yes.
encyclopedias, one for N and one for T. Now let's go back.
Yes.
So then she's like, okay, Reeves. So she looks up Reeves and she finds the third time. Again, this movie is 85 minutes. And this is the third time we're learning what happened to Reeves. She finds
Yeah.
out what happens to Reeves. And then she's also like, he on one of the rooms, he wrote "open the gates."
yeah.
So she types in "open the gates" into Google. And the very first result is a song from a satanic band from the 90s that no longer exists.
Yeah.
And it's just the first one. Like, if you put in "open the gates," they knew exactly what you meant.
Mhm.
And so she starts going through this band and she's like, wait, open the...
This
And also,
guy.
like, then she looks at it and says, "open the gates to hell." And it's like, well, that's not even the same thing. But she says "open the
True.
gates," and she sees a couple of other things. And then they also wrote a song about, it's called like "The Ballad of Richard Joshua Reeves." So she's like, oh man, this has got to be the connection. Which is also like, wouldn't it have been better if when she was looking up Reeves, she found this band that wrote this song and then she realized the other lines were also song titles instead of having her Google the most generic line in the entire
Sure.
album?
Wouldn't it have been good if like he would have like had a like he would have listened to this metal band a bunch?
Yeah. well,
Like maybe during every killing, maybe like this is the most just like where this movie
You're
is chock full of just like where did
you're
this come
leaving
from?
stuff on the table. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's like
Yeah.
stuff you
Well-
could have easily wove into the movie.
Yeah.
and
yeah.
you do hear him listening to the songs,
Right.
but it's like twice and it's very low where it's like, shouldn't you be blasting this music all the time?
It just sounds like metal. It just sounds like
Yeah.
it could be any song that gets him pumped up.
It would have been cool if he was like, see, this is why this movie needs to be made in the 90s. Because she's
Yes,
like,
because he
wait.
steals an encyclopedia instead of just using Google.
I know, Encyclopedia Britannica. And on the wall it says, "Let the bodies hit the floor." Ooh,
Yeah.
And then it's like, oh my God, follow the leader. Like, come on, guys, we're already there.
But I almost
This is
feel
all
like
corn song.
that one. There's really no reason for her to learn this. Doesn't really factor into anything.
She
so
just
it's
says it
also, like-
later to make her look psychotic.
It's just like this could have been like a vibes type thing, but I feel like the movie was so obsessed with exposition, like it wants you to know every little like connection, but not by like showing you, by kind of just telling you. I don't know. It's
Yeah.
it's not great.
And by the way, at this point, she has fired 2 more shots at him and missed. So she's up to
Correct.
3 shots that she's missed, and she only
she's
said she did one more
she's
shot.
out of the loop. Yeah.
So then she looks in the paper and he finds the thing. Oh, but when she was in the hotel, she also saw the ad in the paper, like circled, so she knows it was it. And it's also like, Psycho Killer, why are you circling your
Circling
own
your
ad?
own
Like,
ad,
you know,
yeah.
you. Well, it's a response, but it's still like, I mean, you know, it's for you. Like like you don't have to circle it,
Yeah.
buddy. You're
Circle the
bad
god
killer. But then I remember he's not called the not circler. He's called the Psycho
Mm-mm.
Killer. So.
Yeah.
And so she's like, okay, here it is. And so she writes down all the numbers because it's a number key. And then she's like,
She figures it
and
out.
she looks at her phone and it has the numbers on the numbers. Like it has the letters on the numbers of a keypad. And she's like, oh, that's the code. The code
Yeah.
is literally the thing
His cell phone
that
numbers.
anyone could figure out in the
Yeah.
entire world. Like the most obvious code. And so
Yeah.
then it takes her like all night to figure it out. She's like, "Bloop."
Here
And
it
so
is.
then, because of the Psycho Killing, he's gone to a mansion. And this is also a really good part. This is where we meet Logan Miller playing Marvin.
Yeah, he's
And
like
Marvin
this,
is
like
like-
he's like
yeah,
because the
Marvin's
psycho
great.
killer is like 6'10" and he's like
Yeah.
5'1", so it's like ridiculous.
And he
Like
drives
he's so
up-
short, you
He
know,
drives
compared
up on
to
a
him.
golf cart and he's like, burp, 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 and he's like,
Hey.
He's
buddy.
like, "Welcome, buddy. I'll take your bags." The psycho killer's
Yeah,
like, "No,
you got our message.
I keep my bags."
And the psycho killer's like, I need to find someone. You need to help. My voice is gonna be gone tomorrow. Like, I need to find someone. You're gonna help me. And she's like, sure, we'll do that right when we get inside. It's din time. And they're like driving away. And so he's like, okay, good. I'm hungry. And so they walk through, and he's like walking through, and he's like, I knew you guys were believers, just like I thought. And then like Malcolm McDowell's there, and the Marvin's like, he's a really good teacher. He's gonna
It's
talk a
He
lot.
takes his craft seriously.
It's Malcolm McDowell and like a bunch. It's kind of like a rock star's entourage. It's just kind of a bunch of like, kind of
Well-
like druggy guys and like kind
Yeah.
of like bimbo-y club type
It's
girls.
the most like this is what an old man thinks Satanists are, because there's an old druggy rocker, there's a goth girl, there's a
Mhm.
scene girl, and then there's just a dude in a ball gown who's
Yeah.
not trans.
Wearing
He's just
earrings.
clearly
Yeah,
like he just
just
likes
doing it.
ball gowns. Yeah.
Yeah.
And so then they're
And
talking.
they're all eating Chinese food.
Yeah.
And Malcolm McDowell's like giving this big speech, and he's like, and then the devil, this is our time for the devil to rise. And he goes, oh, do you have any more chow mein?
Would you like some psycho killer?
This is like because the psycho killer like doesn't eat or anything. He just kind of sits there and just like,
Yeah.
I need your help. And then he's like, oh, we'll get to that. And then he's like, but first, and he brings out like a tray with a bunch of like lines of Coke on it. And then they're like,
While they're eating Chinese food
and,
still.
Yeah.
and it's very
He
funny
says
because
Chinese food like Coke.
the psycho killer, it really hones in on how much he's kind of distasteful of them just having a Coke party, but it also really zooms in on like just like, oh, she's eating the General Towels, and it's like, does he find these two things equally offensive? Chinese
Right.
takeout and cocaine.
And also,
It's
Very, very
He only
important.
drinks priest blood.
Because Marvin gets it and he's like, and he gives it away, and it's like,
oh, that's right. Marvin does not do the cocaine.
Yeah,
that's
he does not
right.
partake.
And also, it's like, yeah, buddy, you're on pills. You're like on more pills than anyone on earth. What are you
Dude.
judging for?
Yeah, man. He likes
It's a
downers. He doesn't like
prescription.
uppers.
It's a prescription. for
Yeah,
him.
I was gonna make a joke, but then we would have gotten canceled immediately. And so then it's like, because he goes, I need help finding someone. And Malcolm McDowell's like, oh yeah, ask Marvin, he'll do it. And it's like,
Yeah,
Marvin,
Marvin's
why
our
did you
tech
bring
guy.
that up?
Mhm.
Assistant.
If you know the guy, if you're the guy to help find him, you should have been like, oh yeah, I'll help you find him after dinner, no problem. But I don't think Marvin knew up until this point that he was the guy. Nobody knows what the next thing they're gonna do is until it happens. It's like they're all living in that.
Just like
you know
real life.
that movie where Will Ferrell is being controlled by a screenwriter. If you think that,
Oh, yeah, Stranger Than Fiction.
if this movie takes place in
Same
that
universe.
movie's universe, it would make a lot more
Absolute.
sense.
Yeah.
And so then the psycho killer's like, "Take me to my room. It's sleepy time." And he's like, "Okay." And he's
Do you
like,
have a closet?
"Yeah, do you have a closet that's big and is very? They won't let me hear or see anything."
Spacious.
And so then Marvin's like, "Oh, who do you want to find?" And he's like, "I don't know his name, but
I know his job.
does."
Yeah.
Nobody does.
And then
Yeah.
he's like, and then Marvin's like, "I don't understand." It's like, what aren't you understanding, Marvin? It's very clear. Like, it's not a code. He's not speaking in like a secret,
In
like
text numbers.
Yeah, like he's not even speaking like Kevin Spacey in Seven. He's just like, "Oh, I need you to find whoever does this job in this one city." And Marvin's like, "Pardon?"
A job.
And he's like, "Okay, we have a private investigator. We can do that tomorrow." And he's like, "All right." And so then, do we cut back to the girl at this point or no?
She's. I
No,
don't know
'cause
what she's
she-
doing.
Yeah,
No,
it's
she's not
secret
really
what
here
happened.
for this because there is actually kind of a reveal, which is one
Bad.
of the few clever.
Oh,
I
I
don't
thought it
know.
was bad.
I thought
Oh,
it's
but
more
we'll
like,
get to
oh, in a competent movie, this would be a good surprise.
So then the next morning he wakes up and they're like, "Oh, we found the guy. Here you go." He's like, "Okay, take me to my car, Marvin. Take me to my car, Marvin." And so then they're driving to his car, and then he's like, he gets in his car, and then he drives a little bit back to Marvin, and he's like, "Hey, Marvin, I want you to go away now because." And then he's like, "Oh my God, you're the psycho killer." And Marvin's like, and the psycho killer goes, "And if you tell anyone, I'll find you." Then he gets real close and he goes, "I will."
I really will.
And then I
Yeah.
was like, wait, that's not a threatening line. And also, No, you weren't. You just needed my help to find another random dude. You're not gonna find shit.
Yeah,
So then he gets
Yeah.
an axe.
Marvin.
And he goes back into oh, that's right. Because when he's going to the car, we cut to Malcolm McDowell, and they're all having, let's just say, a party that they have in Eyes Wide Shut, so we don't get like,
Mhm.
But
With
but
acid.
also kind of like pathetic. Like it's like
yeah, and
very.
well, I
It's
mean,
very
yeah.
like there was only so much these
I've never-
actors in this set
This
would.
I've never
budget
seen
could
that
do.
activity in any form look fun. It always looks kind of
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
no, I'm not. I don't think it was cool at Eyes Wide Shut, but it's almost like, oh, don't make your extras do this for Psycho Killer. You know what I mean? You're like just.
And so then he walks in with his axe and he's like walking, he's like, "Ooh," and he starts like chopping them up. And he gets them all, and then he gets Malcolm McDowell. And then this is a very funny part too, because he has a gas can and he throws it into the fire, and he starts walking away slowly. And then he kind of like you can hear the fire going a little bit more, so he kind of starts like, uh-oh, like I didn't plan this out. And so then he's about to leave, and then he sees something like reflected in his eye, and he's like, oh my god, I'm the Psycho Killer, and I know what that is. So he goes upstairs, even though it was in the front to the left.
Yeah.
Now he's
Yeah,
upstairs to the right, and he takes off his mask, and then he like puts the mask in
Puts
front of the
it,
window,
yeah.
and then they get shot, and then it
Yeah.
cuts to Jane, and she's like, "God,
That's right. She's got a sniper rifle now.
Mhm.
And then she
And
starts
now,
running.
now all of a sudden she's a sharpshooter.
She
Yeah,
is really good at shooting in this one scene exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so then she starts running, which is also like, well, and then he just goes to his car, and she's
Yeah, he
and
gets
then
out.
like gets in his car, and then she gets in her car and just sits there. So he crashes into her and then just takes off. And here's
Yeah.
the other thing. Jane, if you had a good position where you could see the front of the house, why did you move at any way? Just wait for him to go to his car and shoot him in the head. As a matter of fact, you knew he was leaving. Why didn't you
Why not
just wait for him to go
sabotage
first
his
part?
car?
Exactly.
Yeah.
I don't. Yeah.
So then
See,
she
but
gets
I
in-
like
so
the
now-
I like the idea of you don't see her for a long time, and then it turns out she's actually doing good police work versus her like learning about babies and also this case simultaneously.
Oh yeah, there is also another scene where she's at a diner and she's reading a book, and the mom's like, or the waitress is like, "Congratulations," because she's reading What to Expect when you're
when you're expecting.
Oh
And then
yeah,
she,
but
like,
she's also reading the Satanic Bible.
Yeah, and then Jay goes, "Oh, can I have some milk?"
Yeah.
And that's the last time her pregnancy is ever referenced
Mentioned,
or
yeah.
even a factor. Because
He's wrong.
Yeah.
It comes up one more time. But then
Come on, Josh.
I
cuts
must
to
not
the
have remembered.
it cuts to the FBI, and they're like, "Hey," it cuts to a very hilarious reveal at the very end. The FBI's like, "Oh wait, you've been chasing this guy? How do you find him? he's not in Tokyo at the Olympics. I'm just gonna make an Olympic joke." And so then she's like, "Yeah, of course I found him because I was listening to that song. That was unrelated, but then he
I
also
opened the
likes
gates,
this,
baby."
this other guy, Reeves, kind of not related either. And then I saw it in the thing. I don't know." And they're like, "Okay, well," and then she's like, "Where were you? I was here. Where were you?" And it's like, "Wait, why didn't you call us? You called us last time. What the hell are you doing?"
Yeah.
so then-
confusing.
He tells her like, "Hey, we're gonna go." He's gonna go to the church that Reeves. Here's the connection, guys. He's gonna go to the church that Reeves killed all
Did
those
his
guys
thing.
at.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was
And
his big mass murder.
That's where his mass, like his black mass, is gonna take place. The end
Yeah.
of all time. And so then it cuts to Psycho Killer, and he's driving, and then they're like, "Hey, what's up? This is Random Facts radio station. By the way, that Psycho Killer is
Pertinent
killing a
random
lot
facts.
of people." And I just want to say, today is the anniversary of 3 Mile Island. And here's the thing: if we hadn't saved everyone on 3 Mile Island, there would have been a hole all the way to the other side of the earth.
Yeah. It was a huge nuclear
They're
disaster.
like, man,
almost
on US soil.
you know, someone who loves death would probably actually really like it if 3 Mile Island happened. Unrelated to
Yeah.
what we were
Yeah.
just talking about.
And then they get
Opportunities galore.
they get a caller, and she's like, "You know what? When I was there, they said it was real bad. Why do you have callers on random trivia facts? That's a weird thing to have callers for. Anyway, see you next time when you're talking about other random trivia." And so then it cuts to Jane, and she's like, "You know what I need to do before I stop this Psycho Killer? I need to get in my highway patrol uniform that I guess brought with me but didn't change into
Yeah.
until now." So she gets into
Well,
her
because
highway
because
Oh,
whenever
no,
you
no,
put
'cause
on a
she's
cop
trying to-
uniform, it's a second skin. That's what
That's
what her
right.
dad
That's
tells her at the very beginning of the movie.
Yeah.
That's whenever you really lock in and you become who you truly are as a
Right.
cop.
Yeah. So
Well,
why she
and it's
wasn't in
gonna
it the whole time?
and it will help her at a security checkpoint later.
Yeah.
I mean, it won't, but
True.
it could in theory.
So she's like, "Hey, I'm gonna wait," and then she's like, waiting, and then she sees like 3LM in the window, and then we cut to the psycho
Yes.
killer, and there's a funny like this guy because he like we find out who the psycho killer is looking for. He's looking for like some random. His name's like Leonard Wilkes is his name.
Yeah.
And he finds his house, and then they're like, "Honey, your sister-in-law is getting on my nerves," and she's like, "But she's your sister too," and he's like. And they're facing each
You're
other. Like,
right.
the wife is here.
They're in
the
Everybody
husband's
Loves
here.
Raymond.
Yeah.
The wife is here in front of me, and I'm the husband. And then the psycho killer shows up behind the husband in front of them, but he didn't see the psycho killer somehow. The psycho killer sometimes has psycho killer powers, and so
Yeah.
he's like, "Come with me, Leonard Wilkes. I'm going to need your help to do something." And so then
Yeah,
it
that's-
cuts back to Jane,
That's pretty
and
much
she's
what
like,
happens.
"Damn, he's taking forever. I'm getting
Yeah.
pretty bored. Let me just look around.
Maybe there's a
see what
clue.
else."
She's
And
like, "Hey, what are
Is
those?
there a
What are
radio
those
station
cool? What
somewhere?"
are those cool towers in the distance?
She's
Yeah.
like,
what are those
"Oh."
smokestacks?"
And then she's like, "Oh, the FBI's here, finally." And then she's like, "Oh, cool smoke towers." And she goes, "Wait, 3 ml,
Homer
3 Mile
Simpson's
Island?
office. Yeah.
And then she starts running. And then it cuts to like we show his tattoo because he has like 3 dots on his tattoo.
it's
they
three.
merge.
It's 3 triangles, which you think is
Yeah.
satanic, but it's the
Yeah.
radioactive
It's the
symbol.
radioactive.
But they
symbol.
merged to radioactive, and then they like, oh, and then those encyclopedia books, the N, nuclear, the T, 3 Mile Island. Should he have gotten books about nuclear power and then a book about 3 Mile Island? No, because he's not going to ruin the surprise. He didn't want to know everything.
This is
He
Yeah.
just
this is
wanted
how
a
you can
broad
tell that
subject.
Right.
this is how you
Yeah.
can tell this was written 20 plus years ago because it's pre-Google. It's like he would have just
Exactly.
looked it up online.
But other
Oh,
people
no, he
are
doesn't use
Googling
the internet.
things.
Yeah, he doesn't use
right.
the internet.
That's true.
It's
And
not
so-
pure.
He's
Yeah,
anti-drug.
that's-
He's
that's
anti-internet. He's anti-sex.
Because
This
he goes,
guy.
Yeah.
No, you can't use the internet. It has to be discreet. And so then it's like, oh wait, 3 Mile Island. Okay, so then they run, and then he like gets to the island, and they're like, oh yeah, you can go in, Leonard Wilkes, because you work here.
Yeah.
And then like they check his car, and they're like, you're fine, go ahead in. And then he gets out of the back seat, and his wife is in the back seat, and the psycho killer's laying with him, and he's like, thank you for doing that.
He's like hidden them underneath a seat, like
Yeah.
in a compartment where you would probably put like tissues or
Yeah.
or a box of.
It's
some,
like
or
a
shoes.
clown
I don't
car
know.
style
Either
reveal.
that-
Yeah.
Or Leonard
Not
Wilkes
two
just
people.
happened to have a hollowed out
Here-
back seat
He-
for no,
Yeah,
no
that could
reason.
fit his
The-
wife and a killer.
The funny thing is when he parks, he's like, "All right, I let you in. I'm gonna get out of here." And he's like, "No, I still need your help. And then you could go back to your wife." But it's like, if the psycho killer is about to do what everyone,
Any
including
killer's
this
gonna
guy,
do.
should know he's about to do, it doesn't matter if he lets you go back to your wife. You're gonna die in a nuclear
Yeah.
You
holocaust.
should let everyone know what's going on.
It's
Yeah.
such a weird like.
Right, he's
dude,
going
this
to the
guy has
nuclear
no
power plant just to
reason.
kill someone else.
And
Yeah.
then
Yeah.
to add more to it, he gets the guy. He's like, "Come with me, and your wife will live." And
It's
then
like,
they're-
she
they're,
clearly
like, walking
won't,
down the
you know?
hallway, and
Yeah.
he goes, "Now it's time for you to decide who lives and dies." And then he throws like 2 grenades at 2 of the guards, and they explode. And that's when Jane comes, and she's like, "Hey guys, there's a psycho killer. He's psycho killing people all over the place in there." And they're like, "What are you talking about?" And the alarm goes off, and they're like,
Oh, she's right.
"The
This
guy
is-
who wasn't supposed to be working is here, and now there's a psycho killer on the loose."
This is odd too because he only kills guards,
Right.
and
Yeah.
you almost you're like, but he was just killing random people as a
Yeah.
satanist. It's like, why wouldn't he just unload on like the scientists? Like,
Well,
there's
he-
no reason not.
He only
to.
has 6 guns. And
Oh, that's
also
true. I
here's-
guess he is
Oh
conserving.
yeah,
them,
he has a
though.
6-shooter. And here's the thing: the workers, because they're walking down the hall, and he's like going, but he's walking down the hall, and he's like shooting people. And the workers are like hiding against the wall. They're crouching, and they're trying to get out as quickly as possible. Security guards just walking straight down the middle of that hallway. They don't even have their guns out half the time. They're just kind of like stroll. It's just a normal day for
They-
them, and they're getting
They're just getting
wrecked.
brutally
They're
owned.
Mhm.
Yeah.
like. There's one who's using the mirror, like the corner mirror. he's like using the corner mirror to like see where the psycho killer is, and he doesn't realize that mirrors are reflective and they can also see him. And so then the psycho killer throws Leonard, and the guy's like, "Oh no, I was about to kill Leonard," and the psycho killer kills him. But it's like, what if that guy had shot Leonard? Don't you need Leonard? Like, that's the whole crux of your plan.
Yeah.
Relies
Yeah.
on Leonard.
The psycho killer knows that this 89-minute movie is almost over, so he's like,
Yeah,
"We're
he's
just
like-
getting to the end."
Yeah.
It was
Yeah.
it was the screenwriter possessing him again.
It's also
So
crazy.
then-
You said he only has 6 guns when you forgot he also has classic volatile dynamite.
Well,
as
yeah, well, he hasn't
Old
revealed that
school.
yet. Because he goes, and I know what you're thinking. They're in the control room, the most important room in the whole nuclear power plant. Of course, they're gonna at least close the door. But the thing is, not here. They have the door completely open, and they're all just standing right in the middle of the doorway, so you can see every single person in that room. And so then the psycho killer, he walks in and he goes, "Get out," and they all leave. And then it cuts to Jane, and also Jane walks through and she like looks at the guards who got exploded. And like again, when he hit someone with a lead pipe, their head exploded. Like Malcolm McDowell's head exploded all over the place. And these guys who got exploded with a grenade, they just kind of have a bruise on their cheek and they're like asleep. And I was like, man,
Yeah.
you guys are, the budget and the movie are racing to finish, and they're both like out of time.
Right. They're like really like the grenade power is like it's either too realistic in a way that none of us really understand it,
Yeah.
or it's ridiculous.
It's-
And
I don't
they
know
they
what
blew
the
all the
truth is.
money on the semi flipping over scene. That's
And
what
I
happens.
feel like,
Yeah.
I feel like, you know, and that's a pretty good point, because I feel like back in the day, grenades, like in movies, not in real life. I don't know how grenades are in real life, but in movies, one grenade would like take out a house.
It's a bomb.
And
yeah.
now, like a grenade is barely like a flash bomb. Like it can barely
Yeah.
like, it won't even destroy the room. It'll just like break the foundation a little bit.
Right.
What I
Whatever the shrapnel
what I
hits.
love too is because he barricades himself in. He's like, "All right, I'm gonna go psycho killer on 3 Mile Island."
Yeah, he's gonna
And
psycho
then
kill the island.
and then Jane's like, "There's got to be a way in there." And the security guard's like, "Follow me." And he takes her to a spot that's
Yeah, this part was confusing.
like
No,
overlooking it.
the security guard goes, "There's no other way." Oh wait, there is another room.
There is a way. Yeah.
But then
Immediately.
But then she's like, "Oh, we could see him down there." He's like, "Yeah, but it's bulletproof glass. We can't get in." You can watch him. You can watch
Yeah,
him
and-
set it
and
off.
Right. It's like,
goes-
wouldn't you know as a
And then
security
he
guard?
leaves.
Like,
He's
yeah.
just like, "Anyway, bye."
I mean, he's the smartest
He,
guy. I would have
he
left
freaks
too,
out
yeah.
as soon as he gets there. He's like, "Oh, this is a bad idea."
It's
Yeah.
just weird that he was like
Even did
confident
that,
for
yeah.
a second, you know?
right, and, just
then
totally
the psycho
wrong.
killer, like he cuts his hand, and he's like making the symbol in his thing, and Jane is just there like, and he's like,
Stop.
he finally looks up at her, and he's like, and
What
then
up,
they're
Jane?
like,
But-
okay, and also the guy says, "Oh, this room it's sealed proof, like it's supposed to even protect you from a radiation leak." But if there's a radiation leak, I think it's a little too late for that room. Like, what are
Yeah,
you gonna do?
we
Just
might be
live
about
in
to
there
explode.
forever? Like,
Yeah.
I
you're
know.
not-
But
You're not
you
going
know
anywhere.
Yeah,
what defeats
It's
the
your
the
home.
bulletproof glass? A lot of
Bullets.
bullets.
a lot of many
Shooting
bullets.
so many bullets, you make just a crack wide enough to stick the barrel of
A
your
perfect
assault
circle.
rifle through.
Yeah.
Yeah,
She takes
the
out
same
assault
size
rifle.
as a barrel that could penetrate a priest's throat, so you could drink his blood.
Ooh,
Ooh,
and she's
callback.
that's called that's a callback. And so she's like aiming, and he doesn't hear this, I guess, because he's just doing whatever. And they're about to open it, and he has a dynamite on his chest, and he's super jacked. And he has a dynamite on his chest, which again, like it's so funny to have a serial killer super jacked. He kind of looks like Frankenstein a little bit, and so he's and
Definitely,
then she's
yeah.
like, he's gonna take the grenade to blow up the dynamite, and that's how it's gonna set it off. And I was like, he didn't have a plan B for the dynamite. It was just to use. Why didn't he wrap it around himself?
Just
then?
a lighter and a string.
Anything at all. Anything
Yeah.
at all.
Just-
It's volatile. Do anything.
And it's
I know,
old school.
just, you could trip and maybe it would go off. You don't
And
even
also,
know.
they're like, there's no other way to
Nitroglycerin.
turn. There's no other way to turn this off. Since the last mistake, we didn't really make any changes to 3 Mile Island. Sorry about that. And so then she's like, she's shooting,
Not in
and
the
then,
budget.
and then you're like, okay. She said she only needed 1 shot. She's already at like 8 shots.
Yeah.
And then she takes another shot and hits him in the leg.
Yes.
And then she takes another shot and hits him in the arm.
It is very weird. She never really goes for his
Jane,
head.
And not only that, but like it literally cuts to her aiming for the leg. Like, why are you aiming for the leg? That's not where you need to
He needs
hit,
to go
Jake.
on trial.
Yeah.
Not up to her.
She's like,
whether
we
he
can't
lives or
just
dies.
kill people. Yeah. So then eventually she finally puts a bullet in him, and the whole island is saved, and the entire world is saved from the evil psycho killer. And then it cuts to her, and she's like all better. And then it's like it cuts to her, and she's all pregnant, and she's like, "My baby," and she's like putting the nursery, and she opens the box, and like all her husband's stuff is in there, and she's like, "I love you, husband." And then it cuts, and the psycho killer's behind her, and he's like, "Baby, die." And then she wakes up, and here's the
Yeah.
thing: this is why I kept bringing up the fact that she's pregnant, because she wakes up, and she's not pregnant anymore, even though she was pregnant in the dream.
Right.
So
it's
are
like
they
how much time
saying-
has passed?
It's
Well,
just,
maybe she didn't have. Was she really pregnant,
it's
or
the
did she
next
lose the
day.
baby, or what is
It's-
happening? Yeah,
It is one day later. I don't
Yeah.
know. It doesn't matter.
I mean, this is an abstract film. This is,
Not
you have to
on
really put the
purpose.
pieces together. No,
It's not on
not at all.
purpose.
You gotta do a lot of work
It cuts to her, and she's
on
like,
your own.
she's just kind of like, and then it cuts to the radio, and they're like, "Hey, what's up? This is Random Trivia Guy. I heard that people saying he's not dead." And they're like, "Who would be saying that?" Because they clearly got shot in the head, and they're like, "I don't know, 3 Mile Island." And they're like, "Stop calling to this radio station. I
Right,
don't know
with
what
your
you're talking
facts.
about."
And
Yeah.
then
And
Oh,
then,
I think we forgot one major detail, like a
Okay.
long time ago.
That
I think
can't
there
be
was
right.
there was a lady talking on the radio to a DJ, and she was like, "I think that what happens is that criminals." Do you guys know what I'm talking about?
yeah, I think we mentioned this though.
Did we mention this? Did I just
Yeah.
miss this mention?
But you
Oh,
can say
okay,
it again
okay,
because
never
it
mind.
comes up right here.
Okay, yeah. So she's like, I think that the government takes criminals and turns them into monsters in a secret lab somewhere, and that's what's wrong with the country. And she's like a total, what do you call it, conspiracy nut kind of person on this factoid radio
Yeah.
show. And at the time, you're just like, this lady's nuts. What could she be talking about?
Yeah.
And
It's
the
also
movie
like
gets to where
every
we are
10
right
minutes
now.
of this movie. Yeah. And every 10
They're just
minutes of this
telling you,
movie
yeah.
is a newscast. So you
but then
kind of start to tune them out.
he wakes up.
Yeah.
Suddenly the psycho killer wakes up. You're like,
He
wait,
wakes
he's
up.
not dead? He's
And
in a
they're
dark place. And they're like,
they're like,
welcome,
"Welcome."
Reeves.
They're like, "Welcome back to Death Valley, Reeves. We
Yeah.
missed you.
So, which
And
again,
we also let you wear your
means
mask in prison for some reason."
he was
Like,
using
welcome
his
back.
own name.
Yeah.
But
But
it-
The whole
he
time.
is Reeves, yeah.
But it
Reeves.
is a
Not
tour
even a twist.
but it's a tour bus, and I think he's like the band helps him.
What? It's not a tour bus. It's like
It's like a
three-
convoy.
like- yeah, it's like 3 army vehicles.
Oh no, but it's like playing their songs. To
yeah, it is
me,
playing their song.
to me, the implication
Oh.
is that it's also like the band is in on this, and it's like they're part of the
Oh.
conspiracy.
I don't.
Maybe.
I mean, I wish that was what. They
Yeah,
were
that'd
implying,
be
but I don't
way
think
better.
it was.
Well, we can find out when they make the sequel.
Yeah,
Yeah.
when I make the sequel, Psycho Killer, Psycho
Psycho
Killers with
The.
the Z. That's right, buddy. They're gonna be like, "Reeves, we need your help. You need to team up with Jane Archer to fight them. We have another Psycho Killer on the loose, and she's even worse."
Oh, I like it's American Psycho
Yeah.
too.
Bang, 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 bang.
Okay,
bang,
so you
bang,
you were gonna
bang.
explain why we had to watch this.
So here's the thing.
Yeah.
Here's the thing about Psycho Killer. Like, William knows. Me and William, we like these type of movies. They're called giallo films. And it's more about how beautiful the movie looks. Like, it has to look cool. There has to be, like, a psycho killer. And it doesn't really need to make any sense. And that's what this movie kind of feels like. It feels like a 2010. It feels like if Korn from the 90s wrote a psycho killer movie. Like, this is, if you told me the screenwriter of this movie was a 13-year-old bullied kid, I'd be like, yeah, that makes
Of
the
course,
most sense
yes.
of all time.
Yeah. He's
And
jacked.
I think it's like, I think people are kind of more shitting on this movie because of the Andrew Kevin Walker connection. You're expecting like a smart
like something good,
film,
something
it's
at
like
least like
has-
8mm
Yeah,
style.
Sure, sure.
Like
you're
it's
expecting,
gross,
like,
but
a
it's about
coherent
something.
movie.
Yeah,
And instead, it's like it's just following its own logic. Like it literally does not want you to use your brain because the more you use your brain, the less it makes sense.
Oh yeah.
And I think but I think that's kind of the fun of it. Like if there wasn't parts where he's literally drinking a priest's blood for no reason, and like every death is like a billion times, and then of course the twist ending. Like there's 8 twist endings in this movie, and
Yeah.
one of them involves 3 Mile Island, a disaster that nobody really remembers, and it
Yeah.
doesn't really give you any information about the 3 Mile Island.
See, but
disaster.
I
You don't know
do-
anything.
I do think it is a funny twist, the idea that like to an actual like evil, I want to kill as many people as possible for Satan saying this. It's like, well, yeah, of course you'd
Yeah.
set off a nuke because it's
Right.
it's going to be
You're
like
gonna
back
cut
to,
straight
you
to
know,
hell.
like
yeah.
like that makes it's just the movie up to that point doesn't really, it's not about that at all, you know.
And that's
I
why,
mean-
oh, go ahead.
Well, I was gonna, like, I don't know if this really adds anything to the discussion, but it's like, okay, if I would have been by myself and I didn't know this is Andrew Kevin Walker, and for some reason this just came on like Netflix or
Yeah.
Hulu or something, I would have watched it for about 20 minutes and been like, no, I'm done, I'm out. This sucks. But like I had to pay to go see it, and so I was like, there, and it
Yeah.
was Andrew Kevin Walker, and so I was like, well, I'm here, so what are we up to? And I was never really bored.
Yeah.
Like I didn't like.
I was I
don't know. I
I
knew
was
it was terrible,
confused
but it,
a
like,
lot.
Yeah, I was entertained, even though I
Yeah.
knew
This
I wouldn't be watching.
This
it if
is
I didn't have
definitely
to.
a movie you see at a film festival that has a mix of local and like independent, where you're like, "Nah, I'm good." Just like I'm just not
Yeah,
gonna
like,
finish
like
it.
this isn't for me.
Here's the thing about
Yeah.
this movie: it doesn't take itself too seriously, and a lot of times when you have movies like
That's
this,
true.
they kind of like peter out by the end, where they don't know where to go, so it just kind of gets more generic and boring. But that's because they don't know the magic of nuclear fission.
It's
And so,
it is
I
a little
feel like
Ella
that-
McKay-esque too, where
Yeah.
you're like, wait, this movie just keeps changing what it's about every 20 minutes, so I
Yeah.
never know what's happening or what will
What are we
happen.
doing here?
You know?
Yeah, every scene is almost like isolated by itself on an island, and they
'Cause
just kind of touch each other.
Even the like
Yeah.
the entire Malcolm McDowell sequence almost feels like what would happen in a sequel to like a Texas Chainsaw, where they're like, well, we
Yeah.
have to put something new, even though it doesn't really
Mhm.
fit with the rest of the movie. It's just like, yeah, it's just
Yeah,
it's baffling.
yeah,
Yeah.
it feels like
It was truly a baffling film.
Yeah, and that's why I like it, because like also the budget was under 10 million. Don't
I,
worry,
I,
we'll
I
get
will
there.
say,
Yeah.
comparing, I don't even like Giallo films personally, but it is a little insulting because those movies do look like beautiful paintings, and this looks like a psycho killer
this movie-
2010 film.
It's fine.
This movie looks so good. What are you talking about? The way like
I
the way they
mean-
use neon. There's
It-
like that house. Like
I mean, the neon was cool. The slow motion
the
killings were
color-
cool.
It
Yeah.
to me, it has the
only
like.
thing.
I think that calling it a Giallo film is a bit of a
It has
stretch,
more of a
but I see what
it
you
has more
mean.
of a Jessica Biel Texas Chainsaw look to it, where it's kind of gross in that way, but not stylized enough to like.
The
be
only
its
parts
own
I don't
thing.
think look good are the parts in Malcolm McDowell's house, because it's like, did you guys know how to light this scene? Because everything's
Yeah.
like it's all digital, so it's like pumped all the way up and it looks like Borderland. That was the only part I didn't like, as far as looks wise. But like so much of it like looks cool. The direction, like the visual style is cool. Like when he takes off his mask in front of the window, you see him take off his mask and the camera moves down, and so you see the mask move down with it. And so like that kind of stuff is cool.
Yeah.
Even at the end when she like sits down and she's like all freaked out, like it's the contrast is so good. So you just see the lights, the blue and red lights in the background, and her in the foreground. You're like, oh, she's been through some shit. And so, yeah, it's just a fun time. If you like psychos and you like killers, this is a perfect movie.
But
for
if you don't like the song "Psycho Killer," it's also good because you're not going to hear it.
You're not
It's-
gonna hear it.
that's
The only
not.
thing-
They could not afford the song.
the only thing I would have changed is this needed way more corn music, and that was the
That would've
only.
been fun.
That would've
It
been the
really
only
did
difference.
need something takes a part of me. You and I could
Yeah.
never, whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah, bang bang. So yes, so
Because it's
Psycho
a
Killer-
very corn film. Yeah.
It is a very. It's like if Hot Topic. Oh, they all got together and they made a movie. Like they all put together
Yeah.
their funds. And see, here's the thing too. Sometimes I'm like, I really want to see like a kind of serial killer movie, but I don't want to see anything too dark, too dark or that makes a lot of sense. Well, now I have that. I have that masterpiece.
You got
And it's
you have
called
that
Psycho Killer.
niche.
Yeah.
That is
Yeah,
why
I
I was
don't know if
I was hesitant. We rarely watch movies in theaters for this podcast, and I was like, this isn't some like gruesome misery porn thing. It's not that
It's
at
not
all.
that,
If
yeah.
if anything, you're going to be mostly confused about what's happening and why. It's definitely
Yeah, true.
not torture porn.
Yeah.
You know.
So live with it. Live in the world of the Psycho Killer.
I
For
mean,
not that long.
There's no way
like 70
Yeah.
by the
minutes at most.
time you this comes out, it'll be in theaters because it was down to one showing a day by the second week.
Yeah.
So
It's
Yeah.
catch this on Hulu or Tubi when it comes out in
Yes,
like
it
Right.
goes
a
straight
month.
to Tubi.
Yeah.
But yeah, so check it out, Psycho Killer 2026. And don't worry, guys, next time you see us, we'll cover an old movie because it's been quite a long time.
True.
Dun, 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 dun. See you guys.